Okay, let's see if I can be coherent on this topic. You've all heard work the problem. Work the problem is a philosophy that NASA has about the way it tackles problems. And it basically is three things. You identify the problem, make sure there's understanding of the problem, say it out loud, draw a picture of it, whatever. Make sure everyone understands it, break the problem apart into pieces, then tackle all those pieces, solve that problem, move on to the next problem. That is the way that NASA works. It's famously the way that the character in The Martian tackles surviving on Mars until he can be rescued. It's the way that I have worked in my career from the very beginning, in 1997 till now. It's the way I approach everything. There's a problem, you identify the problem, break it apart, tackle the pieces, fix those pieces, move on, move to the next problem. Problem. But something that I am coming to realize in the last very short period of time is that you can't always work the problem. And let me see if I can explain why. When work the problem is discussed as a philosophy, as an approach, very often it's seen in isolation, as if the person or team is the only person or team in the universe that is involved in the current situation. And sometimes that's absolutely true. If you are stuck on Mars, it's just you, so you better figure out how to grow potatoes. If you have Apollo 13 out in space, the team on the ground and the team in the capsule that's it. That's all there is, so they better work the problem. But there can be a tunnel vision that can result from working the problem that can result in a couple of things. So problem one is it can potentially result in you taking opportunities for problem solving away from other people. If you're first on the ground every single time to work the problem, you're disempowering the people around you potentially. So you need to give the other teams, the other individuals around you, an opportunity to work the problem as well. But, and I think really the reason I'm making this video at all is sometimes you're going to be taken advantage of if you are known for always working the problem. If you're on Mars and the ship is left and you got to figure out how to survive on a couple hundred calories a day, that's one thing. But what if there's another ship just over the hill there and they've got tons of food and they could cut their daily rations down to 1,500 calories a day and provide you tons of food, way more than the 100 you're going to get growing some potatoes. And this is what I'm coming to realize has happened to me a couple of times at least, is that because you are known as someone who will work the problem, other people who might also be able to contribute to the solution will sometimes stand aside and let you work the problem, your team work the problem on its own, take on the risks, take on the burden, take on the harm, because they know you're going to get there, or they trust that you're going to get there, and they can stand aside and avoid having to take on similar risks and similar responsibility. So when you are working the problem, and I'm ultimately not saying you shouldn't work the problem, when you are going to work the problem, before you start, as part of the defining, identifying, stating of the problem, make sure you look around and see who the other people and the other teams are in this situation or adjacent to this situation. Because what you might find is that there are other teams or people that are eager for an opportunity to work the problem with you. Or maybe that should be given the opportunity to work the problem on their own. And maybe when you look around and see the situation a little bit broader, you'll see other individuals or teams who are standing aside and letting you work the problem alone when they are perfectly positioned to help you out. And in that case, you need to try to figure out whether or not maybe it's not your turn to work the problem. Maybe it's their turn. So what am I saying? Am I saying don't work the problem? Am I saying just lie down and die on Mars? No, but I do think that people who work under this philosophy, people like me who tend to work the problem have a low tolerance to problems, let's say, and as a result will quickly act to try to resolve problems, to try to work the problem, even when that's inappropriate. I think I got fairly good at looking around for people that were wanting to work the problem, people that wanted to help, or people that wanted to own the problem on their own. I think I got pretty good at that because those people want you to see them. Their goal is to work the problem with you or work the problem on their own, so they're not hiding. But I don't know that I ever got able to detect this other kind of person, the person that is standing aside, the person that is purposely letting you work the problem alone. And I'm not entirely sure what to do there. If they have a very high tolerance for problems, then you could starve to death on Mars before they move to help you. So unfortunately, I don't really have the best answer here other than to be aware of your proclivities, to be aware of your reactions to problems, to make sure you at least look around for others that should be involved in the process of working the problem. And maybe that will help. Special thanks to my members. They provide the resources this channel needs to keep running. If you are interested in becoming a member, there's a link down in the description. If you found this video interesting, give it a thumbs up. If you want to argue with me about working the problem, certainly do so down in the comments. This is something that I don't feel that I fully come to terms with. Maybe you have thoughts about how this can or cannot be taken advantage of. I'd love to talk to you in the comments. I will see you again soon. Thank you.